everybody. I really don't know how I sound tonight because oh god, do I look okay? The levels look okay. I hope I sound okay. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, good evening everybody. I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend so far. It is 9:50 p.m. 10 minutes earlier than my original streaming time. Yippee. Rare thing for me. But anyways, like no, because I had everything set up, so I figured what the hey, I'm just gonna jump right in and let's get started. I'm not gonna go deck building a little bit right off the bat because I mean I want to warm up first, set my head into space, right? So we're gonna do a little deck building tonight, and because last week, if you joined me, we were doing a nifty little set idea where we were gonna do like basically me and Mr. Tanuki came out with this whole idea of doing bargain bin magic, and the idea was like we would build a deck with a fixed price point. We specifically set limits to the deck in terms of sets so that the cards will reasonably be easy to get, and then we set a price limit to make sure that that like you wouldn't bust the bank making the deck. The criteria we had on top of that was that like it would be a best out of 3, and we were using very specific sets on the deck. I think the last 6 sets that came out. We're intentionally bypassing Spider-Man for some personal and some logistical reasons, and then on top of that we pegged the price based on the reported price from TCG Player like a couple of weeks ago. So with that in mind, we set off and we're going to build a deck the next coming month, and we're just going to play around. So tonight is going to be the first time I'm going to build that deck, or at least build my decks. And on top of that, I made a tool to make it possible for me to like very easily and very quickly check some of the prices. So I'll walk you through the tool. You can find a link to the tool in the description below if you're curious about joining us. If you want to make edits to it, the tool is actually pretty sort of self-explanatory. Like it's pretty easy to use, and if you want to, you can. It's pretty easy to edit as well. All the formulas are set in. All you need to do is just change the data. But if you want to do that, I'll walk you through another time. But basically, we'll go through all that. If you are curious, just leave it in comments or a message if you're watching this live, especially if you're watching this live. But anyways, before that, let's just warm up a little bit. We started a little bit earlier, so I'm just going to play a little bit right now. I am pretty fond of Alchemy on MTGA, so I'm just going to play this a little bit for the fun of it. Also, I'm not a meta player. Like, in case you're wondering, like one of the most frequent decks I've seen on MTGA has been this absolutely brutal red-white like Boros mobilized deck. It is nasty beyond all belief. I freaking hate it because it is like, I think like 3rd or 4th turn the game just ends with like a very basic set of hands. Like you really practically kill the player in like 3rd or 4th turn. I find it particularly boring. I really don't like it. You might see it here because it's stupidly common. I'm just like whatever with it. Honestly, it's my number 1 most hated deck right now. Gosh. Oh. This deck is a curious little creation. Where basically it's red, white, and it's red and white with a splash of green. But the critical parts of it is that the whole point of it is that you sack a bunch of artifacts to deal a shit ton of damage. It's a lot of control in one deck. It's a red, white, green control. So yeah. I tend to like to play a lot of mid-range decks, so this is like this is how usually it turns out to me. Classes to this turn, this creature deals 2 damage to the Ooh, this is nice. Nice to this. Oh god, oh, so I've seen this deck. Variation of I've seen a version of the deck. It might be the same deck. It's a red, white, and blue deck where it plays with a bunch of these second spell monks. Pretty amazing actually. Lol. Yeah, so we're gonna do a bunch of like land Oh god. That is nice, very cosmetic. So yeah, so this deck, my deck in particular, has like um, six board wipes. And it's mostly due to the simple fact that like I really need board wipes. So the deck is heavily built around the idea of just basically being able to board wipe like nobody. Of course, that has like so much like dependencies on whether you'd actually be able to get your board wipes. So sometimes it gets really hard to tell. You can just, it's often you just pray, right? And with this amount of damage dealt to you, you just need to swipe the card on the board one, because without it, you're just screwed. Oh, double team. Fine. Oh, that is nasty. Oh man, it's a board wipe or bust. And all you need to do is just shock destiny. It is so nasty. I am doomed. Yeah, I should have done the shuffle. Nope. Yeah, so this deck does have this weird problem that I've been trying to figure out. Because I rebuilt this deck once, and it's actually turned out worse now. And I'm not very happy about it, for obvious reasons. I might need to like figure out how to treat this one. So this is a card that like I added in partially because it's like it does a bunch of things which is cute, but it really doesn't serve its use as often because my real damage comes from a biotech specialist. It's also really weird how often I get stuck without green mana. Like I don't understand how that keeps happening. So, cute thing about the format that we have, right? Like, because of how the format works, you almost like you lose 90% of access to like a lot of these like really good mana fixers. There's just not many good mana fixers, or rather you just end up playing a lot slower because like all these really awesome mana fixers are just not, you know, accessible to you. I know I need a board wipe, so this is my problem right now. Because so right now, I have 2 split ups, 2 Beyond the Quiet, 2 Starfall invocations. These were intended like really to just F up the board for like anyone who's trying to like just trying to just like, you know, get any amount of control over the whole thing. And one of the reasons why like I'm even going down this route now is because like when I was playing a few times before, right, I always had this problem where the ward always ends up being an issue. Like ward always ends up blocking me from doing a lot of stuff. So as a result, I always end up like, okay, I'm not gonna play. Like like it's just gonna cost me so much more to do that kind of shit. Like, so I stopped using a lot of targeted spells. And like I'm just gonna take a little bit of damage and I'll just like, you know, deal the kill that I need to kill. I just realized I actually don't even have some of the cards I usually use to make the deck work. I'm going to literally add 4 cards into the deck without actually like taking anything out. It's so dumb. Oh wait, this is why I actually don't have... What's this card for? Oh yeah, this is for the anti-baby attack. Yeah, so this was supposed to... So Pinnacle Star Cage was my replacement for Lethal Breaking, because what Pinnacle Star Cage gets rid of is the same about Lethal Breaking, so I think I'm going to keep that one that way. I think I want to keep something on the higher damage side of things, which is... Yeah, here we are. Roller Crusher Ride. I think this one in particular I want to keep, because Roller Crusher Ride is something that is a bit pretty nifty. And I still need to keep the other, my other win card. But I think the other win card I give you a little bit more, a little bit less. Yeah. And I keep forgetting the name of the card, by the way. It's actually quite horrible. Here we are. Rakost. So it's gonna be a 64 card deck. Yeah. And if you ever watch me play, like if you ever see me build deck, like I never minimize my cards because I tend to balance out the odds. I know it's not great, and you also notice that I don't play like full play sets. It's just a really bad habit I have. Because I feel like whenever you have like 4 copies kind of thing, it really is you really wanting to commit, and it's rare for me to feel like I absolutely need to have 4 copies. See, this is weird. I don't understand how this keeps happening. Me getting stuck with that guy enough to... Wow. Somebody woke up. Somebody woke up like angry in the morning. It's gonna be a red-white deck with a stupid like thing, isn't it? Oh, it's pure red. Okay. Oh, Subway Tender. It's a sub-tender deck. I haven't seen one of those. I haven't seen one of those, have I? be fun to watch. Screaming Nemesis is actually really good. I really don't know how this will turn out. Because it doesn't look good, honestly. I'm actually very amused at how some of these cards. What is he playing? I think I'm dying to a noob. I'm definitely dying to a noob. Oh, this must make him feel so good. I hope he feels fantastic, man. Like, I feel absolutely horrible. Great. Wow, this is not fantastic. Man, what's going on with these decks? Yeah, this is not great. Oh, what the hell is going on? There is something weird with this draw. Like, I have I have technically 8 board removers, and I didn't get a single one. This is insane. How is this possible? And like, 3 authority consoles, didn't get a single one. This is insane. This is so dumb. What the fish balls? Not a single one. Should I drop transnet? No. Oh, yeah, it is insane. How is it possible that I don't get a single one? Give this a try. So weird. What is with this draw? Well, in any case, we'll be able to get to like deck building after this. Clearly, you shouldn't set any if anything, this couple of matches set your expectations of what you like reasonably would be able to expect from the deck building process. My god, it's horrible. I don't even like this one that much. Oh, this is gonna kill me real bad. Authority eventually will like slow down the deck like this. Oh, I didn't realize I had 2 star power invocations. That was Authority of the consoles is surprisingly expensive as a card. Like, literally, this is a $5 card right here. One of the weirdest things about the format, like that format that we discussed, actually makes you extra conscious about like how silly some of the prices can be. Oh man, I might have land roll. I can't afford a miss land drop at this point. That's how nasty this is. And oh, this helps so much. So, Authority of Consoles does this really nice thing. If you're conscious about like how like small synergies in your deck, like Authority Consoles work really nicely with Let's see what I get. Ah, dang it. I don't think I'll survive this though. This is actually pretty tough. Okay. Guess this will work. Any chance? So this is like 15 on its own. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Yeah, I didn't think it was happening. Wow, man, this deck's up. There's something absolutely wrong in the starting of it all, and it really is a problem of like there are just so many 3-base things in the game that this makes it really difficult for this deck to survive. I need to rebuild this shit. Oh well. Never mind. That's not what we're here for anyway. Alright. Let's go to deck building. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do so how we're gonna do deck building today is that we're very specifically we're gonna go how I like to do it at least is that I would pick up cards based on the set. So we're gonna look through the sets that we're supposed to be looking through. Using MtG Arena, you can do it with any other one if you're not using MtG Arena. But generally, basically you want to have access to a visual spoiler of the cards available, and so that you can browse through it very easily and get a glimpse of like, okay, what kind of cards you want to play with. If you're very familiar with MTG mechanics, then what you can do, or if you're already somewhat familiar with the set, then what you can do is you can actually look for keywords and try to build stuff from there, which can be pretty fun. So you can start from there. That's at least how sometimes I like to do it. Then once I get a glimpse and get a sense of like, oh hey, I want to build. There's this one anchor card or one anchor mechanic that I really want to try and play around with, or you can try and explore, and then you try and see whether you can get it working. A few things we always look out for, obviously, is like anything. What we're looking at is like what your win cons are, what's your board control, what's your mana curve like, and basically what your solutions are to any problems that your opponent can drop. Like the opponent drops a bomb or anything that drops too early, how do you solve it? So those are the kind of things that we need to keep an eye out for. Black usually has the cheapest and most straightforward ones, but sometimes some solutions can be pretty cheap across the board as well, because they're just less effective. Like they're not in meta simply because they're either too slow or under normal circumstances be too difficult to play. So those are the things that are usually like flags. Usually if a card is too efficient, you can almost guarantee that you're probably not going to be able to put it into your deck for the bargain bin format that we had. Because one surprise thing, because I did this a little bit off stream, right? And this is mostly to test some stuff. You'd think that like most of the time uncommons wouldn't be too expensive. But there's this one very specific uncommon that was like, oh, I want to put it into the deck. It's an uncommon, it's a pretty good solution. I thought it would be fine. And then what happened was that once I entered it into the system, I realized that it was basically a $5 card. And it was a freaking uncommon. Where is this stupid card? starts with an I. I think it starts with an I. The one drop. Here we are. Into the Flood Mall. Into the Flood Mall is literally a $5 something card. It is not even like on the low end. I think it's mid, if not high, upper end of the $5 range. So a playset of this, right, instantly costs you like easily $20 already. So you're not playing Into the Flood Mall. If anything, go ahead, just buy packs. You probably have a better time trying to get into the Flood Mall buying packs. But yes, Into the Flood Mall. Contrast to a few other cards, like that's a very different thing. So yeah, so we turn on craft to make sure we have access to all the cards. We're going to only look at 7 sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way into there, because there's foundations here, then Dustmorn, Bloom Burrow, Aether Drift, Fakir, FF, and then Edge of Eternity. These are the sets we agreed on. So this is what we usually will be looking on. Alright? Okay, so let's look. So one of the decks that I really wanted to play, honestly, was one that was based on Hope, which is a silly little card that I really kind of like, because there's a combo for it and I kind of like it. Basically it says here, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So basically if you just gain a shit ton of life in the same turn that Hope drops into play, you'd automatically be able to, like, you just mill your opponent for like stupid amount of cards. So what we're going to do is and just to show you the combo, it combos with this other card where the 4-drop, where is it? Raise the Past. Return all creatures from mana value 2 or less from your graveyard into the battlefield. That's basically what you need. So the only real problem with this is that it's really susceptible to graveyard hate. So you do need to sort of have an alternate win con, just to make sure that if, say for example, Hope gets removed, you still have some way to win, which is where Leyline of Hope comes in as an alternative. Because the idea here is that you want Leyline of Hope to be able to not only gain you the extra life, but also allow you to, like, in the case where you really have too much graveyard hate and it becomes an issue, this at least gives you a little bit of advantage, like some way to balance things out. So this is the best case scenario. So the idea here is like you use Raise the Past and you bring back a bunch of these kind of like low costing ETB like gain life thing. When another creature at control enters, you gain 1 life, because if it enters with other things, you get a shit ton of life one shot. So you do that and then you just basically like, oh hey, I'm swimming in life, yay, let's go home. So yeah, so let's try that. So what we're gonna do, I've tried building the deck at home, by the way, but there are some very weird and problematic things with the approach. Let's try and see whether we can balance the budget. The key word here really is about balancing the budget, because that is how this format works. So we're gonna put Authority of Consoles in there, and we're gonna put Split Up as our primary removers. Just really something to get rid of as many things as possible. This is the most expensive combination I can almost tell you. So this, by the way, this is the tool that I made. It's once again, the link is in the description below if you're curious to get it on your own. This is one that I copied out on myself. So it's a copy. Please make sure that you do the same. You're gonna work from it. It does a lot of things MTGA does as well. You can see like there's main deck stats and all that kind of stuff here, inside deck stats as well. So let's say, for example, in my case right now, I want to put Authority of the Consoles and Split Up inside here. All I need to do is that give you a bunch of samples, and then you can have that. And then from there, you'll pull up the price. And you say, let's say for example, you want 3 copies of this. That'll be $15. Cha-ching! So you know how much your budget is going to cost you. So Authority of the Consoles literally by itself is already a stupid expensive thing. Split Up. Here, it's also pretty expensive already. So this alone is already $20. So this is actually a very serious, like, hey, are you really willing to commit this much to it? It's a bit of a thing. So this is definitely a problem. Something to consider, something to think about. I'm thinking of it, not a really good idea. Let's not do Authority of Consoles, and let's not do Split Up. way too expensive, right? So let's go straight into like what the deck really needs and what can we get away with first. We need a bunch of ways to gain life. That's the prerequisite of the deck. So let's do Hinterland Sanctifier. This is kind of necessary. Let's do Life Creep Duel. This is another one that we kind of need. And so these two are the main ones we need. And I think what we're going to do is that we're going to use I'm going to do something that's a little cute. I don't know whether this will work, but let's see whether this can work. Let's try Pinnacle Stargate. Actually, wait. Let's just hold back on that one a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Because we'll hold that back. We'll see whether it comes in. We can use that a little bit later. We'll use Raise the Past as our primary one, as we mentioned before, and we'll use we'll spam Leyline of Hope. I'll tell you why we can afford this, because Hope's color is white blue. So primary what we're going to do is that we're going to draw a lot and discard a lot. We're going to just find a way to discard a lot of stuff that we don't want. So having cards that we don't want in our hands is not a bad idea. So yeah. So in exchange for a lot of that stuff, like that stuff that we're talking about, so we're going to put Starfall Invocation and where is it? We need some board wipes, so we need some board control. So we're going to use Starfall Invocation and one more. Why is this not showing up? Why do I have this problem? I keep having this problem. I can't find, like, sometimes I just can't find cards like this. Okay, so Beyond the Quiet. So the reason why I'm trying to split these two, you're definitely gonna use Ultima. Do not use Ultima for this deck, because if you use Ultima, the gain life just won't trigger, and then you just go home stop. Like, it's just dumb. Don't use Ultima. Oh, sorry. Basically Ultima just does a lot of stuff like you just generally don't want, unless you want to stop like die triggers, right? Death triggers. But Ultima's not for us, at least not in my opinion. So maybe, I'm not sure. We'll think about it. But anyway, Starfall Invocation is just really in a case that if you want, the idea here is that the gift the card allows you to force your opponent to draw. So if you mill finish, you can use Starfall Invocation to actually force a draw if you really do have the mana for some reason. Beyond the Quiet is really there to just enforce the exile, in case that you need a board wipe exile. So this makes life a little bit easier. Okay, so this is the thing. Let's go into mill. So a few cards that we want to definitely. So there are four cards that we really want to keep on, like Riverturn Monument and Hope. Riverturn is sort of the alternate win con for milling anyway, so as is Hope. So we'll try and keep these two first. I'm tempted to add Inspiration from Beyond and Jidor, because Jidor actually is surprisingly good if you have a late game, like you really have a late game card. This is actually pretty okay. I don't want to play Space Time Anomaly because I've tried running Space Time before. It tends to be very distracting. It's a card that you just generally don't find a lot of uses for most of the time, unless for some reason you can just play it for free, which I don't think I have access to. Anyway, so okay, so these are our main meal. These are our main meal options. Then we're going to use this Magic Gain Life to as an alternative, and then Leyline of Hope as our alternate win con. So yes, so our main win conditions are achieved using Riverturn Monument and Hope as time, and then our main board control is Starfall Invocation and Beyond the Quiet, and then Raise Pass is once again our other one. Leyline of Hope is our sort of pseudo engine, I want to call it, and then the rest of it is just a bunch of gain life. We've got about how many cards here? I'm not in count. Let's just enter it into the engine. Let's enter it into the document first, and let's see how it feels. Hinterland sanctifier. Right. Oh, that's a pretty interesting price tag for a common. Life 3 0. There we go. Richard Monument. So the reason why there's only 2 Richard monuments is mostly because I'm not big on over committing to it, and Richard doesn't really do anything unless you're somewhat set up. Like you need some stuff to be able to achieve, like to play Richard properly. Same thing when it comes to hope as well. So like most of the time it becomes like discard fodder until you actually want to use it. So Raise the Past is probably one of the more expensive cards in here so far. Let's go Beyond the Fire and Starfall. Starfall Invocation. Okay. So far we're at $15 and it's we've got 22 cards down. So that's not including our lands yet. So obviously we're using 24 lands, so that's going to be like we've got about a slot of 14. We've not got our drawers yet, so let's go and look for drawers. So this is actually the reason why I needed you need something like MTG Arena to help out with this, because you want to get a visual, like you want a very visual representation of it, so that it's easy for you to like look through the collection and be able to go like, oh, okay, this is easy for, like I know what I'm building and stuff like that, you know. Oh, Halia is really nice. What is the big stuff? What is the raise the plus? It's mana value or 2. Ooh, it's actually pretty nice though. Halia, and let's see what's the price of Halia. Guided by light? Guided by light. It's $1.76. Okay, I'm gonna move that down the thing because like this is just for consideration. Enduring? This is holy, it's a $5 card. Oh. So we want a bunch to draw. Track, of course, is my best friend at this point for drawing, so we're definitely going to do that. Maybe Pyrogen? Do we have anything that ETB can like draw a card? Like that's 2 to card. 2 cost. ETB draw a card. Halloween Crier looks interesting. As a cheap card, it's actually pretty okay. We'll definitely use Chart, of course. So we've got 26. I'm very tempted by Kyrogenic Relic because I don't know. I don't have any. Unfortunately, I don't have any good like ETB, like artifact enters the battlefield triggers. Oh, but this one does. This is nice. Maybe. So Silent Hall Creeper is actually a fave of mine. Um, there are a couple of cards here that are actually pretty good. That I'm a little bit considering because once again I've tried building this deck a little bit. So one of it is Silent Hall Creeper, which is $1.47, and the other one is Mockingbird, which is $3.97, which is, oh god damn it. Like, talk about your expensive shit. Can I afford 2 Mockingbirds? Mockingbirds are pretty good, by the way. Like, because Mockingbirds, like, they do a lot of stuff in terms of like being able to just duplicate some of your shit. They genuinely like pretty nice for some of the stuff. Silent Hall Creeper, I guess, has a little bit more utility, mostly because it's a constant threat, so you can't like pressure people with Silent Hall Keeper. Definitely some benefits there. Can I use Kira? What? Oh, Kira's only $1.20. That's pretty good. That sounds pretty good. There's a few that are here that aren't too bad actually. Even Shoreline Looter is worth considering. Oh god. There's a lot. Actually, come to think of it, there are a decent amount of like draw and discards that aren't so bad. Okay, so we'll make a choice onto our draw and discard engine a little bit. The Child of course is like sort of the quick one. We'll need a bunch of counter spells because that's our primary. I think we need to. So we're just gonna bring this down a little bit. We need counter spells, and we need counter spells, and we need exiles. So let's see the price of. Let's look for exiles first, because we need stuff to like stabilize the beginning parts. Vanishing Light's a pretty good option. Sheltered by Ghosts is better if you want to like have some like HP gain in the beginning. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to use Sheltered by Ghosts and Exercise as ways to clear out some unwanted stuff. I think Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty expensive. Oh yeah, Sheltered by Ghosts is a $5 card. Oh, we can't afford that. We're not going to go down that route. We'll see how much it grows in the end, but like I'm just not looking forward to it. Let's go with okay, so we need an initial one, like the starting one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something that's a little bit unusual. I want to try this just for the fun. Let's try Metal. Arcade. I expected this to be pretty cheap, so we'll do 3 of these. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do Exercise. 2 of these because we need a small amount of removals. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to do a return tactic for this. And what I mean by that is like basically what we want is that when it plays, it bounces something back. So here's the thing. Sunpro Kirin forces it. Ambrosia Whiteheart doesn't, but Sunpro Kirin has fly. the bird route flying, right? Let's go with Ambrosia. I have more Final Fantasy cards anyway. This should be interesting to try out. So we're 33 right now. The target card is at 36 if you want 24 lands, but without anything, without any other surplus. So at this point, we're a little bit weird. This does seem a bit expensive in terms of like number of cards to try. But Beautiful Stargate does do some pretty interesting styles. Let's do this instead. Let's not do 3, let's do 2. We still need a counter spell. The reason why we put a T at the back, right, is that if you use normal counters, like you just put counter, you can sometimes just end up searching for like keyword counter. So you do want like counter target something, right? So it's counter T. Divert Disaster is my favorite go-to, mostly because you're probably not looking at trying to counter everything. And occasionally, if you want to, you just try to slow them down, and you want the lander. I'm a little bit on the fence, mostly because the lander's fun and all, but like it doesn't, like it, you still have your own problems. You know? I think there was one that allowed you to draw. I'm trying to go to Swallowed by Leviathan. One less for each creature you control power forward. I'm not playing any dragons, or not doing the dragon thing. Remember there was a counter spell that allowed you, like, you can counter and then you draw and then you start. Oh, here we are. Refute. Yeah, I think this works. Let's go with refute. Just freaking common. I'm just gonna keep myself like 4 copies of this thing. I don't play enough foundations. Is cheap. Good. So we have this. 36 cards there. I still have some room. That's I still got actually quite a bit of room. That's pretty good. Counter at turn 3. Beautiful Stargate happens as a 1. Yeah, that's its own interesting results. I do think that considering I'm playing Ambrosia White card, I do want Sun and Moon. I'm not big on I'm actually pretty good with Silent Hall. Okay. The average casting cost of this is about 2.7372. Whites outnumber blues by about 26 to 12, so that's about 2/3. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Creatures. Oh yeah, it's Influence and Fire. Oh shit, there is. So many. Really is only 12 creatures. I have this book. Yeah, definitely this book. 2 little creatures. What's this ambrosia is a crazy stuff. Pillar of Hope is the only thing that's really effed up, because the weird thing about playing ley lines, right, is that if you don't have enough of them, they actually become a problem, because the odds of them getting you getting it for free is super duper low. Is actually pretty okay, but doesn't. I don't think any or how the hell do I build this? Let's talk lands real quick. Let's take one Jadora. I don't think we have any that we really need to control. So I've tried looking at the prices of some of these land solutions, by the way. For the most part, I don't think they are practical to try and get like to try and get like a decent amount, like try and get like any amount of the expensive plans is just really dumb. They do tend to be really expensive. So I think what we're going to do is that we're going to do abandoned campgrounds, tranquil groves, and then we're going to do terraforming expanse and building grottos, so 2 of these things. So that's basically what we're going to use as our land base. So we're going to use islands, plains. So you'll notice that it's 0 because we agreed previously that like that's going to be like free, because it makes really no sense if like we're going to count the price of islands and like basic lands. Abandoned campgrounds, And Tranquil Grove. So this one gets 4, this one gets 4. And then Hidden Grotto and Terraforming Fence. Right. So Terraforming Fence we get 4, Hidden Grotto we get 2. That comes down to we 14 non-basic lands. That leaves us another 10 basic lands that we have to allocate. So given the separation of 3 to 2, so we're gonna go 6 to 4. That would give us 24 lands and 62 cards in total right now. Is this going to be the deck I'm going to be playing against Mr. Tanuki? Oh god, this is... Okay, so one amazing thing is that I'm actually very under budget. Like, I'm so under budget, it's crazy. So I can't afford to be a little bit more expensive now. Do I like? So there's a little trick to this thing that I'm quickly coming to realize that if you're smart about it, you can technically manipulate a little bit. And I really don't know how much of this is in Mr. Tanuki's head when we were agreeing to the terms of this thing, right? Is that you can actually sneak some of your main deck's budget into your side deck, because what you can do is that, like, you just instantly, without question, like, yeah, I'm definitely going to exchange it out. Like, I'm just going to sack my first match and assume that I'm going to be playing a slightly subpar deck version of this, and then, like, I'm just going to sub in some of my sideboards in immediately, like, regardless of what you're playing. So that's one way of working around the budget. But yeah, not quite there yet. I like Cura, actually. Cura, these 4 cards are actually pretty good. And it's like weird because one of the things that is really taking a lot of slots is like this setup. So I think I want to keep the Mockingbird. Let's keep the Mockingbird. We'll take away Halia. Halia's a good draw. No, okay. If I'm gonna take away Halia, I'm not gonna play Cura already. So I'm gonna take away Cura instead. We're going to take away Pinnacle Star Cage, because that was sort of something like I want to fidget around and fuck around and find out kind of thing. Because one of the cool things that you can technically do, at least in terms of theory crafting, like just purely from theory crafting, right, was that you could Pinnacle Star Cage, especially when you're fighting like low costing card decks. You can Pinnacle Star Cage and pull in a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to put Pinnacle Star Cage as sideboard, but like basically what it does is that it allows you to like just absorb a bunch, like just benefit, like hold in a bunch of small babies, and then while it's holding those small babies, right, what you can do is that like you can release them later, and which includes your own creatures, and like just pop it and like trigger it like en masse and stuff. Like once you build the thing, you can just bounce Pinnacle Star Cage and like just, oh hey, everything's just popping back out. I trigger a bunch of triggers, and then I'm able to like just do my shit after that. So I think we're going to remove that. We're going to keep exercise. Probably this. So we're going to take Mockingbird as well. So let's keep Mockingbird as well. So let's move I'm still $20 under budget, by the way. So that is a lot of like fidgeting you can do. So by the way, the one reason why like I'm super on the fence about Halia is because Halia is actually outside the curve um for Raise the Past. Because you want Raise the Past to be able to pull off the thing that he needs to be able to pull off. You want Raise the Past to bring back everything. So it's a bit of a thing. So we have the budget. So what we're gonna do is that I'm actually going to look for a card that I'm actually pretty fond of. We're going to do, and we're going to include it because it's a pretty expensive card, but generally by itself it's just utility all the way. Storm Chaser's Talent is actually really good. So we're going to use Storm Chaser's Talent. See, this is a really expensive card. And we're going to put, I want to say 2 of it. Because, so Storm Chaser's Talent by itself doesn't really do anything. Like, it doesn't really do anything for the deck, very specifically. It's not good for a lot of things. Like, it's not good for, it just really doesn't really do anything. But what you want Storm Chaser's Talent to do is that you want Storm Chaser's Talent to be able to return spells that may have had problems for you. Like you want to be able to return stuff to your hand that you may have accidentally discarded. So stuff like, oh, I had to discard Raise the Past before. Like win, and it's such a win con, right? And you're like, oh, okay, shit, I'm gonna get stuck. I'm gonna get screwed. So you know, you want to try and remove that. So you want to try and keep that. So I'm gonna remove Sheltered by Ghosts and Halia because they're way too expensive. Like Sheltered by Ghosts is $5 and I can't afford that. We've got about 17 creatures. So that's about, out of 64, that's about 17 creatures out of 64, that's about, well, actually very nicely, it's 1/4, it's about 25%. The chances of, like roughly, chances of drawing the things like that. I want to drop a few cards. I want some bounce actually. So Ambrosial Whiteheart is nice. Maybe I don't want to use Ambrosial Whiteheart. Runaway Together sounds. Runaway Together is for creatures only, which is not great. I don't want creatures only. I want one of each. And we have something that does one of each. When this creature enters me, exile creature out from the graveyard, and do return things. Sorry, no. Nope. Return after one target non-level. Nope. So what I want to do is I want one of, like, both you and your opponent, like, so both of it. Both of you just return one each. At 4 costs. It's up to one target creature you control, return the battlefield. Nope. You should each non-land, non-token from it. Leviathan's cute. So if they do this now, like most of them don't have like it's not as flexible. This is actually why Into the Floodmaw was so expensive. Because Into the Floodmaw is like, if the gift was promised returns carry non-opponent controls. Oh, it's both also his only opponent controls. Oh, okay, you can't do it to yourself. Like you can't do it to your own stuff. Yeah, not as good as it looks. I really thought I could do that. Every target non-land permanent is on his hand if he was attacking creating and applying his trip. This Sculpting Blast isn't so bad actually. Sculpting Blast. can do both your stuff and your opponents, and it actually does most of the stuff. If that's the case, into the royal might actually be just exactly what I'm looking for. The only good thing about like these scouting blasts is that you can sort of like create these drones that become like a nice distraction. Kind of fond of it. Deck needs a little bit more draw though. Okay, so we're definitely, I think we're going to remove Ambrosia White Art, or so exercise. Okay, we're just going to use exercise into the sideboard in case we need like more heat for enchantments and shit. So we're going to do that. Ambrosia White Heart is going to go into the default. Let's go with into the royal. It's our primary one. I can totally throw one in like wall, right? Just like I still have cards. Where's this like throw some mana from things in here? Can I just trim down and like throw some mana fixers? I really want to drop. I so want to drop Lina before. Yeah, but man, the Keen Life is so good. What's Starfall Invocation do again? Draw creatures if the gift was promised. Yeah. Maybe I'll remove Starfall Invocation. It does help a little bit, but like it's not as good, I think. It's still okay. Okay, we'll remove it. We'll see how it goes. I'll tell you what, we remove Beyond the Quiet and put that here. And do a split up here as well. Can we... do we have enough draw in here? I don't think we have enough draw in here. Keep bumping into my mic. I hope it doesn't create too much of a problem. Nope, we don't touch that. Refute. No, that's fine. Need more draw. Okay, we're taking away Ambrosia right now. Wait, I'm not playing Ambrosia right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spice things up a little bit. we're doing enduring innocence, because I've checked enduring innocence before. It's not cheap. Yep, there we go. And then we're doing what was it? Helia? Yep, there we go. Oh shit, we're 30 cents over now. We need to drop it by 1, which is good because we have 62 cards. I can drop it by 1 ley line of hope. And then we're exactly at 49.65. That looks pretty okay. So interesting thing is that ley line of hope actually acts as a great like sort of cash buffer. Like it works like a really good sideboard buffer. So, Enduring Innocence becomes the most expensive card that we're going to play. So, Enduring Innocence and Storm Chaser's Talent is the main two. Enduring Innocence mostly just to make sure that we get a little bit more draw, because the draw is just that important. I don't like it. We'll see how it goes, because I don't like the idea of putting so much emphasis on like that one card, but like I think it's still okay. Like there's other ways to go about this. I can have like more draws, and Halia is sort of there to just give a little bit more, but Halia is not that great a card either. But no, Halia is there just to increase like draw rates as well. There's a few smaller ones that allow you to draw and discard. Maybe I should emphasize on those instead. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna remove Alia, and what we're going to do is that we're going to put 2 draw and discard creatures in here. So we're going to look for a discard. Basically, we need more discard engines. By the way, I've searched. There are no cheap, like constant ways to. Like this would be cool if it wasn't. If it wasn't a max speed thing. Like this is legit gonna be pretty cool if it wasn't a max speed thing. Because it's a problem when it's a max speed thing. Let's try shoreline looter. There we go. That helps. Yeah, I think this is actually okay. Let's do 3 shoreline looters and 3 life because they both share like the 2 drop. You can see like this one, there's a lot of 2 drops. So like there's way too many 2 drops, but like a lot of that is from the creature side of things. So that's where a lot of that is coming from. So yeah. Hold on a sec, yeah, guys. Checking something real quick on the side. Oh, sorry. Okay, back. Okay, so there is extra one that I want to use as a sideboard because this becomes the alternate win con that we want to try and do, which is I want to use Essence Channeler because this is actually really strong, but I don't want it as a main board because once it's a main board, it's basically Essence Channeler deck. And it's actually surprisingly budget friendly. Though we do end up with that kind of problem. So I'm going to remove Split Up because Split Up is good, but like it's just really expensive. Beyond the Quiet is really there for like anti-spaceships, but I don't expect Mr. Tanuki to play spaceships. It's just one of those kind of things where I feel like I want an exile engine if I really need it. I still got about $5 for this. 5 cards. What's a good? What's the price for 8? Really? I feel like I might need a few more bounces. Sorry. Good bounce. Why would I want Divert Disaster? Okay, what's the bouncer that we agreed on just now? We can also put in some Chinese Pride meats. It's pretty cheap. I think we can put like that just to make it a little bit easier for us. And then the damn bouncer. Okay, so here's the thing. Restoring Mission Magic was an interesting choice because Hope has this kind of weird problem. If Hope's not alive by the end of the turn, he actually like legit just dies. So having a Restoration Magic does get some interesting like benefits. Should I put Restoration Magic here? Actually, is Religion Monument a good idea? Number of targets, mill 2 cards. Any number of target players, each mill 2 cards. Any number of target players, each mill cards equal to number of graves. That's a negation. Maybe I can remove this. It dropped the budget a little bit and like allow me a little bit of not much. Not very much. Wow, it's been an hour. I've been at this for an hour. Theory crafting for deck take forever. Okay. No, River Trend Monument increases the odds of me being able to do something, so this is still okay. Is that thing that... Okay, wait, let's just double check. River Trend Monument is an artifact. Let's see whether there's a good artifact returner. Creature only. Creature only. Target creature only. This is actually pretty decent. Return target non-9 permanent card, mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the value. Like, it's legit, like, just as long as it's a non-9 permanent. So, this is actually pretty okay. Like, you can use this to bring back River Trend Monument and a bunch of other stuff just to screw around. Should I just use that instead? Sunbless Healer. It's a 4-drop technically. Okay, look, I'm not going to touch this anymore. Let me just put it here instead. Sunbless Healer and White Magic. Wait, is it still White Magic? What's that? What is that? Oh, Restoration Magic, sorry. Holy shit, Restoration Magic is expensive. So, Sunbless Healer is super cheap, so that's fine. We're gonna put 2 here, we're gonna put 3 here. Oh, wait, that's 18 already. Oh, 2 is our cap. Restoration Magic can go away. Yeah, we don't do that here, that's fine. Actually, no, let's do the Restoration Magic here. Then what we'll do is that here we will Mockingbird, Shoreline Looter. No, this is fine. Into the Royal. Of course, Starfall Invocation, Enduring Innocence. No, this is good. This is good. Yeah, I guess I just don't have space for that one. Because Restoration Magic does a small amount of stuff that I kind of like. Yeah, I wish I had space for... I think let's make do with this. So, yep, so this is going to be the Hope deck that we're going to be playing. We'll probably need to hunt the cards this coming week. But let's do this. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna do our second deck. Our second deck is going to be I think I'm gonna make it easier for myself. We're gonna play I think we're gonna play a red-white. Let's do a red-white. Let's see whether there's anything in the mix. Colors are pretty nice. Okay, so for the fun of it, let's see what's the price of Lightning Army of 1. So we're done with this one. I'm gonna close this one first for now. Let me bring up a new one in a second. So here's a new sheet. So yeah, so actually, by the way, one thing that I don't know, like, because I didn't explicitly bring your attention to it, I don't know whether you guys would notice it, but like there's a bunch of stats here. Oh, this is a previous deck. Let me just get rid of this. So there's a bunch of stats here that are like kind of handy. It shows you like your main deck stats and stuff like that, and your mana cost here and all that stuff. What this generally gives you a sense of is like how you should weigh out your lands and stuff. Like how many lands do you really need? Like is it overly leaning onto one side versus another? All that kind of stuff. And same thing goes with your sideboard actually. So to be fair though, like you don't really need the sideboard stats. It's just fun to know. But like your main deck stats are pretty important. And then like at least some idea like if you're gonna swap around, you know what you're gonna be swapping around with. So yeah, so whether you weight into one side or you weight to the other. And some part of that is conscientiousness, obviously. Yeah, so right now we're gonna go into deck 2. We're gonna go in we're gonna just do a bunch of checks. So I'm just out of curiosity, I wanna see how much it costs for this. Holy shit. The cheapest Lightning Army of 1 is $37. We're not playing with her. that's like 60% of the budget right there. No. Oh, funny thing, I checked actually, Boss Charm is also really, really expensive. Oh, actually it's not as bad, but it's still pretty expensive. It's $4 for one card. And note that it's 4 damage to target player or Planeswalker. So like I played it, and the stupid part is I got hit in the face with it because it just can't target creatures. It's really annoying. Okay, so I think what I want to try and build for this one is let's do something that is quick and sturdy. What is this red? Do I not have? Are they? Is it just not playable, or why is this blacked out? Oh god, I wish they showed. Oh, I don't know why they wouldn't. Anyway. Okay, so I think what we want to try and do is we want stuff that says enter, deal damage kind of thing. So what I want to try and do is I want to play around with the idea of being able to build landers and being able to like just deal damage. We're gonna try and like. I'm also kind of curious how much is a Lightstall Inquisitor. So let's go and take a look. Oh, that's actually pretty cheap. That's 51 cents. That's actually not too bad. I might just want to play a lot of white then. So let me try and look at what's the keyword for a lander first. How do you create? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for a keyword for create, and then maybe what we'll do is create and so that way. Oh. Actually, there's a lot of these things. Actually, that just create creature tokens anyway, so it's not that bad. This is actually not too bad. Let's play an EOE deck. I'm. This is mostly just gonna be EOE. Let's try. There's a few cards here in EOE that I'm kind of fond of trying to see whether we can do something with. So we're gonna do a light stall Inquisitor. We're gonna. How much is the Lumen class frigate? Oh wait. Oh, this is actually really cheap. It might have shot up in price, by the way, by the time I'm like gonna collect these cards, but we'll see. So what we want to try and do. We also want to deal damage. So what we're looking at is things that would allow you to king whenever like creatures come in, or deal with, like, or like attack and stuff. So we're gonna be a little bit on the meaner side of things, so we're gonna try and like be as ruthless and efficient as possible. Interesting thing is that red is generally a super cheap color to build. Most people agree, like it would like red decks are like the easiest way to like be budget friendly and just lethal. I don't really want to play fast reds because I think they can be a little boring, but I'm also curious because I rarely build fast reds, and so like it would be interesting for me to play fast red. So this is the one that I was talking about. Whenever a creature or artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So this is also. And then what I want to do is, interestingly, I want to do a job select one. So because this counts as 2 for this stupid thing. Like the oh shit. Forgot about Wolf. Never mind. We'll do this. We'll do Dragon's Lance. Does Samurai Katana count in Trouble and Peace? Okay, yeah. So we'll do Samurai Katana as well. Interesting. I might actually end up in a very interesting deck. So then I might not do white light stall then. Let's not take green light stall. Let's do Westlocker Ardent. Because light stall doesn't really do anything. Like it really is a decent, like it's meant there to slow your opponent's hands, but it's really not that great a card. What you want is a bunch of weird. What's the choice? Expect. Oh yeah, I knew this was going to be expensive. This is definitely not showing up in the deck. That is way too pricey. But let's see what other cards are. Here it is. Can we afford this? Delcoven. Okay, Delcoven's pretty okay. Pretty affordable. And it's a decent blocker actually. So this is something that's okay. And then we don't want too many wall stuffings. I think or maybe okay, we'll just keep to that first. Then let's do two Samurai's Katana. Let's do two. This is relatively cheap deck, right? I really like the idea of, and then this should be able to then the Calcoven. Okay. So far so good. So what's interesting is that a few cards like the ones that count for tapped creatures actually work work well with this kind of deck. So we're going to entertain that a little bit. How much is Sunstar Chaplain? Oh, actually that's pretty cheap. But Sunstar Chaplain is like, it's actually a pretty annoying card, by the way. We'll put 3. Second spell thing is not as good. Let's see how much is Sunstar. It'd be really funny if I just stuff one in there. This Servandum is actually pretty good. Let's see what's the price on Servandum. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, but I still want no, let's not go with this. So what we want to try, there's this one card that I'm looking for that actually checks for counters and gives you shit. Now here we are. Because the warp is actually pretty decent on this thing. So it actually gives you a really good it just generally gives you pretty decent maintenance. Like value for money. I'm not sure how good this is gonna be. And Spell for Survivors are actually also pretty good. Actually, this is one that I think we can go into. That's a stupid card that I accidentally rejected. Oh no, because that's the counter one. We go into this one afterwards. This the return one might actually be worthwhile. Let's see whatever rebate trooper we can actually put in. Does it only apply to we have a non-token creature you control? Okay, so it only applies to non-token creatures. still okay, I guess. How much is a Johnny color price? Oh, that's actually pretty affordable. Whoa, okay, no. I think Elspeth is a lot more expensive, but I'm just gonna put it in just to find out. I found out. Anyway. Also on a side note, I just wanted to check because it showed up. Yep, instant break budget. Okay, let's see how we can return this thing. Where is that stupid card? I would love to actually have fitted this in somewhere. Sun bless you, anyway. Oh, sorry. It's pretty cheap so far. Sorry. So a few things that's still missing. We don't have a draw engine, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. We're going to run out of steam pretty fast. Let's see whether there's anything we can use to draw. We can also look for cards that just generally give you equipment, like basically, like just find equipments and put it into our hands. Okay. Laughing Mad is fun, but like I'm not a big fan. Why am I even thinking this doesn't fit? The whole point of this is to the whole point of this really is to be able to use Wolfstalker Ardent and then like just spam like creature attack, like creature damage kind of thing. Yeah, it's a bit mixed up, but I do like this though. Like Blacksmith's Talent. Let's make sure Blacksmith's Talent is in here. Actually, this isn't so bad. Curious. You creature you control have haste whenever non-croaking when you control enters. Your token is copied for this and it costs less too. Rewrite the token and bring out a new copy. This is so funny. Like, it'd be so funny to actually win based on this. Similar to this. Yeah, search your library for equipment, review it, bring your hand, shuffle. Sounds familiar. Yeah, Celestial Armor is good. What we're doing at this round. Sunster Chaplain is cute, but it doesn't do, strictly speaking, the stuff that we need to do. Like, it's okay because it sort of works with this. And Sunstar is Servanda was the same story, Wallstock Art, So far, a lot of these cards don't necessarily work perfectly together. The communal, like Looming Glass Frigate is the best baseline, but it works with the others a little bit, not perfectly. Thunder Sealer is decent, like sort of just generally helps a little bit with some of the stuff. But we still need ways to. It's so funny to actually win. It would be so funny if we actually win with Gilgamesh, but I don't want to. So tempted just to see what it. Oh man, so dumb. Well, I should just that. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, destroys the creature. It's a 7-drop. My problem is that it's really because it's a 7-drop. It is such a weird drop. Oh, hey Damien. Mentor of the Meek, is that in Foundations? I think it is. Sorry, by the way, I missed your message just earlier. Yeah, let me just take a quick look. I'm quite sure Mentor of the Meek is somewhere in here. The 3-drop. Yeah, but yeah, there we are. Yeah, it's in Foundations. Actually, you're right. Mentor we should work for this for a draw. Let's try that. But I suspect the price is going to be a bit crazy. Oh, it's only 18 cents. That's actually pretty good. We can do mentor meat. Oh, but I don't have any good like removers as a result of this. Yeah, this deck still has some problems because of like how this goes. I'm gonna drop a Jan. Jan is nice, but like it's not solve that many things. I am okay with this. I need something like in 5 cards that can justify. Oh, I know what's gonna do. I also want this other one. Yeah, card draw is definitely tough for red white. So Celestial Armor is cute, but I think I might not. I want something a little bit better. So I'm tempted by Chainsaw actually. Chainsaw and Elf. Yeah, let me remove this. Let me remove Sunstar Chaplain. As fun as it is, I want to try and do this a little bit more thematically. So that applies to... So Servandum has some interesting things going for it. But... So interestingly, by the way, Aldebert I think is pretty expensive. Adelbert. Yeah, it's like surprisingly expensive as a despite it being uncommon, because he has everything to do with the equipment shit. And no, Wolfstar Arden does a pretty interesting result with it, so I'm pretty curious how it's going to turn out. The Pack Beast was a weird choice. I'll concede that. But I think arms are actually pretty nice. I like the ward actually. And Honored Knight Captain also does a pretty good job because he can search for the stuff. Like it actually genuinely searches for stuff, so that's pretty nice. And then Machinist Arsenal is a great way to like just solve, like as a finisher. So I might do Machinist as one. Just to solve that thing. Mental Remove is good. Night Switch Talent is good. You don't need 4. Sunrise Katana, Dragon's Lance, Arden. Sun. Yeah, but the problem is actually Arden by itself doesn't solve your problem, so you still need a lot of other things, so it's not a good idea. Yeah, let me remove the pack piece now I think about it. It's my Bondam. So Sunstar Exemplar Bondam, right, does this thing where whenever a creature you control dies, you put an exile, put a +1/+1 counter. Then you gain 1 life. So it doesn't matter what creature it is, and it even applies if you like warp them. And then you get like just blow shit up. So that's pretty good. So this is actually pretty good. I'm actually tempted. Let me just go up to 3 on this thing. It's actually pretty cheap. Then what we want to do is Alba. Let's do 2, and then Honor. Actually, Honor Knight Captain is not a really good idea. It really is kind of like oh wait, it's put into the battlefield. That's fine. Yeah, because you want that just in case for like you just want this for like extra stuff. So we're at 32, but we don't have a lot of stuff that's pretty good just yet. Like you don't have removers, you don't have a lot of things that are decent, so I think we still need to drop this a little bit. Yeah, I still go with Robin at 1 if that's the case. I still need a bunch of removers. I want some things that exile and deal damage. But we have the budget for it, so that's good. Yeah. So let's go with exile first. I'm going to use Sheltered by Ghosts. We have the budget for it. It's a ridiculously cheap card. Sorry, it's a ridiculously expensive card, but like we have the budget for it. It's just going to sit there. Or alternatively, nah, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. And then yeah, it's really weird. I'm not happy about this. How much artifacts do I have? I've only got 9. This is such a weird, like it barely works. It's not dedicated enough. I just want to check one thing. Does this count? Yeah, it counts. Okay, that's fine. Huh? What do we have? Right. Oh wait. Oh wait. This is black. Ah, shite. This is black. Okay. Oh, that's good then. I can remove this thing. That was a mistake. Okay. I still need damage though. I have one that's a 5-drop that's from the... Yep. So what we're going to do in terms of damage is... We're going to use... Oh, I'm so tempted by chainsaw. Sorry, by celestial armor. Can I afford this? Dragonfire Blade is actually pretty good. Oh, I can afford it. That's awesome. Why am I adding stuff that like doesn't deal damage? Man, the more I go into this, right, the more I need to drop Well-Stock Garden because it doesn't. I started off with Well-Stock Garden because it does, like, in theory, it was supposed to be able to do a bunch of, like, oh, hey, like, I drop a creature, I drop an artifact, like, because that's what Job Select does, right? You drop a creature and you drop an artifact at the same time. So because you drop both of them at the same time, then you deal, like, pop, 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 pop. No. The deck's wrong. I'm building this wrong. Yeah, this is wrong. Okay, let's not do this. We'll reset this. But I do want to. But I think what I want to do is, I think from this conversation, from this one, what I want to do is I do want to play equipments. It sounds like fun. So what we're going to do is that yes. So I think a few things I want to do is, let's see what the chains. What's the price of chainsaw? That's fine. So let's go with chainsaw. Let's go with Furion. Let's play with Dragoon's Lance. And Summer Katana. 2/2. Right. And we're still gonna play with Webstone. So we're still gonna do this. We're also gonna do are we doing Ethereum Prevent? Are we doing Ethereum Prevent? No. Oh, but I do think this is actually pretty good. For the fun of it, let's do it. I feel this is actually good enough that I might want to do it. So let's see now for rules. We're going to do Albert, the Delbert Steiner. We're going to do 2 again. We're going to do Blacksmith's Talent. Blacksmith's Talent is going to be pretty important to this deck, so we're going to do 3 of that. Robot's going to be pretty important here as well, so do that. Don't know who that is. so far so good. So, Sunrise Katana, Dragon's Lance, these two are meant to work really well with some of this stuff. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to play with Kirin. So Sunpro Kirin. The point here is that we want to be as annoying as possible. So the whole idea is that if you're going to try and remove him, what we'll do is we'll bounce things back just to be able to like return the equipment again, pull it down again so that he gets the creature again, or we can like the whole point is to just bring back stuff over and over again, and so we can just trigger the ETB over and over again. Then we'll use things like Parting Gust, I think. As an exile engine, which is pretty cheap, so that's great. So similarly, Parting Gust also becomes our Parting Gust is for non-token creatures, so we can use it to bounce our own stuff as well, so that's pretty good. Then what we want, so this would allow us quite a bit of like mobility already. So our creatures are 14, including Dragon's Lance and Sunrise Katana. This would become 18 technically speaking. Our curve is closer to 2, so that's still okay, and it's mostly just within that space. So we're pretty safe so far. There's also a dragon. What was that one again? Dragon Fireblade. Yeah, this one's actually pretty good. Dragon Fireblade. Gold Vine Pick is there too, so that's good. So far this is pretty good. This is actually a pretty cheap deck. So this is like super duper cheap. What's the most expensive, like? Yeah, once again, we still actually have the space, so we're going to use Shelter by Ghost. Once again, I'm constantly surprised that I actually have budget for this. I just have like the budget for it. I still don't have a lot of damage though. Parting Gust is great for far. So we can still do 4 here. Most of the casting cost of this is pretty low. Like literally it's 1, 2, 3. It's a problem to draw. I still have a problem to draw. Thanks Ben. Good night Damien. Thanks for dropping by. So cool thing about Chainsaw is really it's just that like you can trigger that off. Like Chainsaw and Furient is a combo on its own. That's what you really want. As is like with a number of these things. The problem is that it's still pretty expensive. Something that does like board damage. I'm only probably going to be doing this for like another 20 minutes or so. I need something that can allow me to deal like mass damage. Maybe a braid, no. To all. What's available here that I can deal to all? Oh, Slack Storm is available. It's actually not great. It's actually quite problematic in so many different ways. So no, let's not do it this way. No, Slack Storm's fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. But I think what I want to do is swap this white mage's staff and what's it? How do I get it for library? So I think this might actually work a little bit better. Yeah, this might work a little bit better. Okay, at 39. Most of my stuff is under 4. That's pretty okay. Creatures at 16 is actually pretty okay. Just want to double check. What's Halia doing? Whenever Halia, another creature you control, creature artifact you control enters, you gain 1 life. At the beginning of ends, draw a card and 3 or more life this turn. Yep, right. So this actually becomes great because Halia allows you to pull off with White Mage Staff. Like basically, Halia and any other weapon becomes an auto, like literally an auto heal. Like this two automatically allows you to. Yeah. So this allows you to. This tree allows you to actually like, oh okay, hey, cool, and then you add to this. Yeah, I think this is still okay. I think Rauban drops to this one drops to 2. There's a question of whether you want to play Rauban more or was fun, but he's not critical. Yeah, this is okay. This is pretty okay. Jesus Christ, gives you haste and trample. This one gives you flying, this one gives you haywire. But this generally becomes pretty solid in terms of like just consistency to some level. Central Kyrian is frustrating, Parting Dust is frustrating, and also an anti-one. Dragonfire Blaze is extra, Shepherd Ghost is an extra. Then you just need... This one is arguable. I want it for the mana ramp, but this is really worth it at that point. No, let's just grab for that. Let's grab for draw instead. So instead we're gonna do I should put a condition to highlight duplicates. I forgot about that. I forgot about that function as a safeguard. Yeah, I think the only weird thing here is that you probably need some damage. Still need some damage. What's the most expensive like, damage thing that like the best damage thing? Burst lightning. Evasive maneuvers is actually pretty nice if I was playing like the Lumen thing. Lumen's actually surprisingly cheap as well. Should I just do that for Lumen? Or specifically target creature only, which is fine. Oh, actually that's an interesting thing. Is there a... What's the price of Screaming Nemesis? Holy mother of Jesus, that's one. Okay. I had to find out. Oh wait, yeah, now I remember. This is actually pretty good. More making sunship is not bad. It would be a nice way to solve some of the things. Artifacts I control is a lot. What's the one? I remember there was one that counts for artifacts and creatures. Creatures and our spacecraft over there. And you know the creatures you control plus the number of equipment. Yeah, Slash of Light is pretty good. It's nice. special level. What is that? Equipment select. 6, 7, 8. No. You can't do 4. You have too many copies, then you don't fall. Okay. This looks like it's pretty okay. I have plenty of things, so I think I'm going to splurge on lands. Never thought it'd be possible. Let's splurge on land. So, what we want is, let's see how much is Sun Below Verge. Sun Verge. Holy mother of Jesus. Okay, that's too expensive. Secret Foundry. Oh, that's a little bit more manageable. But still is a little expensive. I think we can't even afford more than 2. Is there anything else that's a little bit cheaper? What's the price of... What else can we use? Ooh, actually, what is the price of Fountain Port? That should be pretty interesting. Counterpoint is a good soft approach. And starting out, let's try that. Oh, starting out is $20. Okay. Move it. Oh. Oh, actually that's not too bad. Fountain. Oh, Fountain Port is actually pretty great. We're not doing Secluded Port. Let's do, what's the other one? Verge? Oh no, it's not Verge. Verge is a super expensive one. We're doing Secret Foundry. Oh shit, we're already above. Yeah, we can't do Fountain Port and Secret Foundry. Do one? Let's see whether we still have budget for the rest. Because we can drop some. Reckless Carnival. This is fine because there's an off chance that you end up bringing in for free. We're going to use Hidden Grotto again. My favorite like neutral land solution. We have basically 9 lands here. And then white and red separation of 19 to 16, so that's about 3 to 2. No, it's about 4 to 3. Yeah, 4 to 3, so it's not so bad. 4 to 3 with 15 lands to break apart, so that's roughly about 9 to 6. We've got a decent number of like double whites as well, so I guess that makes sense. I think I'm going to do 8 to 7 instead. where it's this is going to be mountains. And plains. It's a neat 60 in this case because you do want it to be a bit manageable, but this one with this kind of breakdown, right? You kind of want it to be a little bit lighter on land so you don't end up getting too many. What's the land pickup that we're using? What's the difference between evolving wilds and thermophic plants? Same card. Yeah, it's a question of whether you want like shit ton of it or not. Let's do thermophic expanse as a reference point. Like we're just gonna use the same thing, and we may or may not like. We just want 4 of them, and we might like just reduce them as we go along. So that's 5 and then 6. The problem with thermophic expanse is that it does slow down your deck quite a bit. So like reason why this is here is really just to make sure that it doesn't slow it down too badly. Reckless Carnival does a lot of things, and we're a pretty low casting cost deck, so we want to be able to go as quickly as we can. I guess we give this a try. I actually want some creature return. What does the sun thing do again? Non-land permanent, value 2 or less. That would probably apply to quite a lot of things. Is it also non-land permanent, one of value 2 or less? I'm gonna drop this. Not worth it. I think the sun might end up. But we didn't say life. It's not that bad. We have Parting Gusts and Sheltered by Ghosts for most of the removal, and then Slash of Light for additional removal already. We should be good. Fountain Port becomes the creature supplement. interesting thing though. Let's see something. So this is a human. Human. Interesting. And I think all the all token creatures are heroes. Heroes are not humans. How racist. Heroes are not humans. Because I was thinking of a way to increase mana gain. Because there is you make this a bit tribey. Yeah, you can use Patchwork Banner to make it extra tribey. So when you make it extra tribey, all your humans become interesting. The weird problem is that like so this aren't human and heroes aren't humans. That's annoying. Are heroes human? They're not, right? Like they don't have any weird like states that say like, oh, they might be of every creature type, right? Yeah, it's just that. No, I think we're okay. I do want something that deals mass damage though. Actually, the more I look at it. Is there anything that can all? Is there anything here that can do all? Sorry. So this is a card I actually want to play, but like I have like weirdly no slots, right? Oh, actually, I forgot. Where's Steel Cutter? Should be under my considerations. Oh, that's actually it's a bit pricey, but I can remove my land choices for that. It's actually very worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I will gladly sacrifice my sacred boundary for that. Okay. Yeah, gladly sacrifice sacred boundary for that. So that this becomes Ray Steel Cutter is fine, but like I don't have that many cases for double spells. This is not the right deck for it. We'll deal with my that side of things a little bit later. I actually have enough creatures. I can actually draw. Ways to at least, which is nice. Where is that? Draw. I guess this solves some part of it. Maybe I should just increase this by 3. And then I'll take the land. Maybe I can drop this somewhere. No, this is good. Let's do the what's the one that return target non-creature non-land creature non-land permanent. Actually this is actually pretty good for that. Let's do this. Builder's talent. Oh, that's good. What's my first time again? Forward and touch. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Because this one allows you to get your attachments for free, so you don't have to think about it. So it's pretty good. Most of your Ardent is nice. Alia Guided by Light is nice. The only weird part is that honestly, it's not as equipment centric. It's like just dropping the equipment and then just sort of like drawing for it. Slash of Light was sort of like Slash of Light works so well with a bunch of other things. I think it should be alright. Yeah. And then we take the land. On Quarry Mountain Monastery. straight. No, we take the land. Secret rock. Let's take the land. Yep. So everything's about pretty cheap, so we should be pretty safe at 23. Draws are pretty solid. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. As long as you hit 3 lands, most of the things you can do really well. Yeah, let's do it this way. This feels pretty good. I think this is where we're gonna settle down on for now for the deck. So let me just rearrange some stuff. Sort this one. So, oh shit! I hate it when it does that. Never mind. I'll just. Two builders out. So I'm gonna move. All our equipment is more or less this, so we're gonna move builder's town here. So save up these, then throw here in. Parking gust. And that here's most of the stuff. So, oh wait, here we are. Right. Then what I also want to do is I'm going to put some non. So there's actually one thing that I'm tempted to do. There's actually one more card that I'm actually very fond of. That I'm tempted to put in, which is Artist's Talent. Because Artist's Talent does this thing where it generally helps filter a lot of stuff and actually reduces the cost of a lot of these artifacts as well. Should I include it? I would definitely need to trim down stuff for it though. maybe like this. Central, I kind of want. Kind of. Guess Central has that weird, able to draw stuff in here. Maybe I'll drop one parting gust. No, let's keep the parting gust. Let's give this slash flight. So slash flight's a bit of a, like, I don't like parting gusts have higher chance of actually being useful. Artists. Oh god, that's a more pricier card than I thought it would be. Oh shit, even 2 of it would be way too expensive. I need to at least drop a few cards just for that one already. Because Artist's Talent like really does do a bunch of like filter work and stuff, and on top of it really does reduce the cost of stuff by quite a bit. Can I not afford the land then? Yeah, I'm gonna not afford the land. I'm gonna drop the price of the land. Yeah, that helps a lot. Just the price of the land itself. Is there... Can I afford a Quarry Mountain? Yeah? Do I want to? I think I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Basic lands, non-basic lands. Oh, I'm only 22. Okay, so I need to look for one. Let's go with... Yeah, let's go with this. What's the other... Is there a white version of this? Oh, actually, this is actually better. Velcova encampments. Oh, Velcova encampments is cheap. I'm still at 22. It's kind of cool, like, yeah, let's go with 2 of these. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, Artist's Talent comes in, and these are all my creatures. These are all my non-creatures. And my draw and thing can be a bit dangerous, I think. But these are technically all creatures. So, and then Delcoven Enchantment is not ideal, but solves some problems. Then Fountain Port adds my potential creatures. Bump up my potential creatures quite a bit. I don't have a problem of potentially trying out. I think we're pretty good at this one. So yeah. I'm gonna hide this one, by the way, because I'm like, obviously I know this thing doesn't hide with it. My bad. Sorry, guys. I should have. Dang it. I'll figure out something here. My bad. Okay. We'll figure out something another time, but yeah. You'll if you're using the tool, just remember like just remove that thing. It's fine. It's just there for like decoration anyway. Yeah, this looks like it's pretty solid. Okay, we're gonna use this one. It's gonna be in sort of a weird, like off a little bit equipment style deck. I should be able to run pretty okay. We'll figure out how it feels when we go along. There's a few things I don't like about it. It's like artist talent is gonna do a lot of heavy lifting in trying to make sure that the deck runs smooth, because a lot of things when you cast, you just hope that you discard it and you don't have duplicates. Blacksmith's talent is sort of a linchpin in the deck. You sort of want and use it. And then builder's talent and so on and so forth. Let's see how much is. I keep forgetting because like while I put blacksmith talent a lot. Like I given blacksmith talent, yeah, it's a 1-drop. That's what I thought. So I want to be sure of it. That's all. Yeah. So it goes a long way. So blacksmith talent is going to be a linchpin of the thing. So like a lot of things are just going to be better with blacksmith talent. Yeah, we'll work it out from there. This looks pretty solid. This looks playable. And we'll decide on a sideboard a little bit later. Okay, that's it for me tonight. I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, it's 12:47 a.m. This looks pretty solid. I think this is something that we can work with and play with. Hopefully, like right now this way at least. So the curve's pretty solid. It will maining at 2 because there's a lot of stuff that's just going to be dropping at 2. Your ones are a bit thin. We're gonna see mostly like Blacksmith's talent being the main, like it's literally the main 1-drop that we're gonna be playing. I don't want to overdo it on the Blacksmith's talent, and I also don't want to raise it too much because I'm already dropping a land, so it's 23 lands to essentially 37 cards. So it's about it still maintains the 2/3 ratio, but like on the thinner side, because mostly because I don't have that much ways to solve like land issues. I have some reservations right now on Furion, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, so Rhubarn is going to be a big play on this. We'll see how that goes as well. Weftblade Enhancer. Oh yeah, I dropped Weftblade for a little bit more of the others. So Weftblade is going to be sort of supplementary in this grand scheme of things. Because what happens is that it's really there just so that it can like, oh, every time the others drop, it deals a little bit more damage. It's kind of cute in its own way. Now as I talk about it, I feel like removing him. Oh god, why are you even here? You're such a distraction. You're such a distraction. Oh man. Like, I legit will probably have like better... Do I have anything that has haste that might actually have a better chance? Like, is there anything here that has haste that might have a better chance of being a thing? Even fleeting effigy might actually fit better than that stupid thing. Yeah, man. This is so bad. I swear, this is only a rare simply because it has that stupid warp effect. It's really not that great. What do we have in red white? You. Nope. You're not playing that. Oh, this is cute. Just right, vigilance, trample, and haste. Do I? If you give it to any one of these, would it potentially become like difficult to deal with? Actually, I do need the first strike. What does Dragonfire Blade do again? It's just +2/+2 and protection of monocolor. God. Yeah, I'm sorry, Westblade. You're really not. You're not. You're not holding your ground on this. As much as I like the idea. It was cute. It was cute. Dragonfire Blade. Yeah, it's not that. Strong Beacon Blade is interesting if you have Mobilize. It's otherwise not that great. I do need something that gives first strike, I think. Chainsaw gives damage, Machinist Arsenal is stats, Dragonfire Blade is monocolored protection at some level, Dragoon's Lance is flying, Samurai's Katana is haste and trample, White Mage's Staff is just stats and HP gain, and it's mostly because it's just like cheap. There's vigilance and reach. This is cute. Cute. Yeah, when you create damage, you draw a card, then you may cast a spell from your hand and mana balance last for the damage. Oh, Busted Sword is pretty strong. Can I afford? Holy shit. I should have known. I should have known. That's a bit of too much of a free meal. Did I put Aether Sparkle on? Ooh, no. Way too expensive. Sword of Vengeance is actually pretty okay. That's not great. Not great either. Sword of Vengeance is probably the better one. Okay, so far. Okay, now let's go back to that. Okay. Can I just add a paladin arms? Maybe stuff isn't as good. Warrior Sword is really just pure stats. Should I not just give a bunch of samurai katanas? No, where are you looking for? Oh, I just have to loop it up. Let me see what Dragonfly Blade do here. And hexproof for monocolor. Okay, I'm moving Dragonfly Blade here. That way, yeah, that's pretty good. Dragonfly Blade is like 165. And I think this is actually pretty okay, but like it's really dependent on whether I need the exclusive monocolor. So, and Sword of Vengeance does have its own interesting things. Let's see if they have any like better equipment in this. Micah is actually pretty nice. Is that right? Is that crap? Crap? Oh, that's pretty reasonable price. Yeah, it's not one drops. Yep, that looks pretty good. Yep, so this is it. I think we're good. We're gonna stop here. Yep, I'm gonna stop here. I know I left and came back, you know, like I just spent another hour by accident doing this. Yeah. So this is where I think we're gonna stop at for tonight because this is a 62 card deck, spent 49.70. 23 to 15 it's okay. Is the Vulcan encampment is mountain. Sorry, it's plains, so it technically counts. It's a little bit problematic in terms of speed, and I might want to reduce sack flight by more, maybe. We'll see how this goes. This was a bit of a thing, but yeah, not 100% happy with where the balance is. I feel like I really would be a lot more comfortable if I had something to bring stuff back. At this point. Yeah, I'm gonna make the space for this. Okay, so isn't too bad. This is pretty nice. I like this. We'll do Furion. We'll do more focus on Furion. Yeah, this is what we're gonna stop at. Trying to do too much, I think, once again with the deck, but let's see how this feels. I think will move some things around. Like I think that's where the sideboard will come in. We'll move some things around to push things in one direction or the other based on the sideboard. But like this is pretty like straightforward across the board. So yeah, so I think we're gonna end it here for now. Yeah. Oh my God, 10 legendary creatures. That's gonna be it. Mm. Do I have anything that could be interesting for legendary shit? Not really. This is actually kind of cute. This is actually kind of cute. Oh man, should I just stuff a Venat there for like no apparent reason? Alright, stream. Oh god. Oh, that's so funny. As though I need like more distractions from this deck, right? Oh god. Anyway, I'm gonna stop for tonight. If you've been hanging around, thanks for dropping by and like hanging out as long as you have. I'm really just gonna stop here. This is like this is as close as it's gonna get for me. I'll see you around, alright? I'll hope let's see how this goes. I look forward to seeing you guys when we finally play. Till then, this is me signing out.